5 years from now, language models will only be 10% of the AI world. Gemini Prompt. Speculate about the proposition that 5 years from now, language models will only be 10% of the AI world. Speculate about the topics and models that will constitute the other 90%. Suggest models that don't exist but would be needed in this world. Response. The proposition that language models will constitute only 10% of the AI world by 2031, 5 years from now, is a bold but increasingly plausible forecast. If the first half of the decade was the era of the chatterbox, LLMs, the second half belongs to the craftsman, AI that stops talking and starts doing. In this scenario, LLMs don't disappear. They simply become the user interface UI. They are the 10% that we talk to, while the other 90% is the silent engine managing the physical, biological, and systemic world. The other 90%, a breakdown of the silent majority. By 2031, the AI landscape will likely be dominated by models that don't know what a haiku is, but can navigate a crowded warehouse or fold a protein in seconds. 1. Kinetic Foundation Models, KFM, 35%. Currently, robots are often programmed for specific tasks. By 2031, we will see kinetic foundation models, AI trained on the grammar of motion. Instead of learning words, these models learn gravity, friction, and torque across millions of simulated and real-world environments. The goal? A single model that allows a two-legged humanoid, a six-axis arm, and a drone to all understand how to move through a room without specific retraining. 2. Bioatomic foundation models, 30%. While LLMs treat sentences as sequences of tokens, biomodels treat DNA, RNA, and protein structures as the primary language. The goal, moving beyond simple prediction, AlphaFold style, to generative biology. This involves models that design entire metabolic pathways for carbon-capturing plants or program synthetic bacteria to eat plastic in the ocean. 3. Hyperspatial digital twins, 15%. These are models that represent the state of a massive complex system in real time, like the electrical grid of a country or the traffic flow of a megacity. The goal, transitioning from static maps to predictive simulations. These models don't just show you where traffic is, they simulate the next 10 minutes across a billion variables to prevent gridlock before it happens. 4. Logic and formal verification engines, 10%. Probabilistic models, like current LLMs, are bad at math and hard logic because they guess the next word. The remaining 10% of the 2031 world will be symbolic reasoners, models that operate on rules of formal logic and mathematical proof. The missing links, models we need to build. To reach this 10/90 split, we need architectures that do not exist in the public domain today. Here are 3 speculative archetypes. The World State Model, WSM. Current AI doesn't understand that if you drop a glass, it breaks. It only knows that the word glass often follows the word dropped. Need, a model built on physics-informed neural networks, PINs, that has an internal physics engine. It would perceive the world through video/LiDAR and predict the physical consequences of actions. For example, if I pull this tablecloth, the vase will fall. The substrate-neutral orchestrator. We need an AI that can manage compute resources across different types of hardware, CPUs, GPUs, and emerging optical or neuromorphic chips. Need, a model that doesn't process data, but manages the energy and thought flow of other AIs. It would act like a conductor, deciding when to use a cheap, small model for a text reply and when to spin up a heavy bio model for a medical query. The material synthesis model. Imagine an AI that knows the periodic table better than any chemist. Need a model that can take a prompt like design a room temperature superconductor using only Earth-abundant minerals and output the exact molecular lattice and manufacturing steps. This model doesn't use tokens. It uses atomic coordinates. Why the shift? The 10% LLM world is a sign of AI maturity. We are currently in the vocal phase, where we are amazed that a machine can speak. By 2031, the novelty of talking to a screen will have worn off. The real value will be in the agency phase, where AI is the invisible glue holding together our physical infrastructure, healthcare, and scientific progress. If LLMs are the mouth, the other 90% of the AI world will be the hands, the eyes, and the nervous system. Do you know that any private information you put into a cloud AI is used to train that AI? A Percivit AI running on your own hardware is the best way to keep your private data private. I can help you set up a private AI on almost any PC or server. Contact me for a free consultation. If you get value from these blogs, please consider joining my Patreon as a member at the $2, $4, or $8 level. There are more than 400 previous blogs on my Patreon page. https://www.patreon.com/Steve Hovland.